So I'm super excited to have my niece here who's going to ask me some questions today. I hope she's going to start with something easy. So over to you, Lydia.
Do many people call you Daisy by mistake?
That's a great question, Lydia. Yeah, I get called Daisy all the time. Naming my business with somebody's name that isn't my name, it's bound to happen, and it doesn't bother me at all. But yes, I get called Daisy quite a lot.
So why did you call it Daisies?
Yeah, so I called my business Daisy because I chose one of my grandma's names. I lost both my grandmas, sadly, quite near together, and it helped me to just assess what I wanted to do. I'd worked in some very high pressured jobs, I'd had various different careers, and I decided that this was the time to choose something that I really love, and crafting is something I love. Crafting is something that both my grandmas did, especially one of them, the other one more so sort of make, do and mend and all of that, but I decided that it was the right time to set up my own crafting business, and I decided to choose one of their names to name it, and that was Daisy. And I thought I would hold up a picture at this point. I know Lydia will remember my nanny, and that's Nanny there, and her middle name was Daisy. She was called Vera Daisy, and I'm really happy to have named my business after her.
Who are you trying to help?
Oh, well, who am I trying to help? Well, people like me, I suppose. People who are just find it a little bit tricky to make time to craft, and when you do, you don't always get things right, that you are sort of eager to try new things, really keen to experiment and try lots of different crafts. Need quite a bit of stimulation to sort of get you motivated and keep you on task, and perhaps you know, need to have an end goal, because there's nothing worse, I feel, than starting a project that just sort of grinds you down because it takes you so long to complete, which is why I gave the business the name Daisy 60-Minute Crafts, because there are so many things you can do when you just dedicate an hour to crafting. You can get all the great experiences of crafting, all that feel-good factor for a small amount of time, and just add those little bits of time into your week. So I really want to help people experience that and know that, you know, no matter how little time you have in your busy lives, that you can make time to craft, and I really want to help you do that and do it in a way that enables you to succeed, because there's nothing worse than making time and then it not going how you want it to. So yeah, Lydia, I'm really trying to help people succeed at crafting, those that want to try something new.
Have you always been good at crafts?
No, definitely not always been good at crafts. Always been interested in crafts, always wanted to get better at crafts, but definitely not always been good at them. But I hopefully, from what you see that I produce now, you can see that you can get better at crafts. But yeah, you definitely need an interest, a motivation, and sort of an aspirations to be better. But yeah, Lydia, I can't say that I've always been good at it.
So, spill the tea. What was your biggest crafting disaster?
Spill the tea. Didn't they always used to say spill the beans? Oh, I don't know the lingo today for youngsters, but yeah, spill the beans. Okay, do I have to? I was really hoping you'd ask me for my greatest crafting achievement, but yeah, disaster. Yeah, I decided it was a great idea. I had this table that should have really headed to the tip, but I was keen to upcycle it, and it was an aluminium table that I turned over the top, so it had a rim inside it that I could fill with mosaic. Didn't do an awful lot of research before I started, have to say. Went to B&Q, bought everything I thought I needed, and set to. There I was, mosaicing my table, probably not in the best way possible because it didn't last very long at all. As the weather hit it, it cracked, it came apart, bits came off, it got sharp. So yeah, it was definitely a disaster that ended in me having to pay somebody to remove it because it was that heavy. So yeah, it has happened, but that was a long time ago, and I try not to have such major disasters now.
When did you first realise you loved crafting?
Oh, well, you know, Lydia's asking me these questions and she's 16, so I was younger than that. I was definitely younger than that. I think it was when I was at primary school. They started an after school club, and it was a craft club. And I think what made it really special was that the mums that were helping and the adults that were involved, they were crafting alongside us. So rather than when you're at school and you're just sort of with your peers and they're all making things and you're all at a similar level, you were getting to watch adults and what could be achieved in terms of crafting. And that really sparked my interest. And actually, I sit on an item in my studio now that I made at that craft club, and it's a tie-dye cushion, and super proud of it, obviously. Kept him for over 35 years, so amazingly, can't believe it still survived. But it was that that really got me into loving crafting. So yeah, Lydia, 35 years old, can you believe it?
Do you have a favourite craft?
Well, anyone that's done any work with me as part of Daisy's 60-minute crafts, learnt any crafts from me, will have heard me talk about my favourite craft. Here's a bit of a clue. String. I've done some of it. I love it. It's macrame. So many macrame makes. I just love knotting string.
How did you learn to craft?
Oh, I've got to give some credit to Lydia's nanny, my mum. She's a first-rate crafter and has motivated me and inspired me along the way and helped me with the various techniques. So yeah, learned from people around me. I've attended workshops, I've attended craft days, I've attended courses. When I was at university, I did craft and art and design as part of my degree. I have always found new crafts and enjoyed trying them, bought books on them, looked at tutorials. Practice is what makes you better at craft. And I am doing at the moment, I don't know if you know, Lydia, but I do a little webinar, Secrets to Crafting Success. So if you want to hear more about my secrets for crafting success, look at my webinar, which I generally run once a month, so you can learn more there.
What should people do if they want to give Daisy's 60-minute crafts a go?
Well, Lydia, I know you've given Daisy's 60-minute crafts a go, especially during lockdown. Lydia was keen with all her craft kits arriving at her door. When you put, yeah, if you want to give Daisy's 60-minute crafts a go, then just follow the link to my website, have a look what's available. I do craft kits. I've got a craft club that you can join online, and I do workshops and craft parties face to face and online, and you can take your pick. There are so many crafts to choose from, and I'll guide you step by step so that you can find time and I can help you to craft with success.
Finally, why do people come to you to craft?
Oh, trust you, Lydia, that is a tricky question. Why do they come to me? Well, I think they enjoy the classes. They tell me that it is always a good fun experience to be part of my workshops. I do have a few Google reviews that will tell them just that and what it is like to learn to craft with me. I think they come as well because they like the ideas, they like to finish a project, so they like coming to a workshop or joining an online workshop that takes them right from beginning the craft to completing a project. I think they come to me because they're a little bit different. Somebody who was online the other day said she struggled to find anything similar to what I'm offering, so I think I'm offering something a little bit different, some projects that perhaps aren't available in other places, and people join me from all over the country, so it is amazing that they are coming to me to craft. And if you haven't yet, so if you're watching this interview and you're thinking you haven't tried Daisy's 60-minute crafts, then have a hop over to my website and see what's available and look at my Google reviews and see what people say. Is that it, Lydia? Are we there? Amazing. Thank you so much for interviewing me today. It just adds another dimension, doesn't it, and helps people to understand a little bit more about Daisy's 60-minute crafts. Not gonna lie, I'm a little bit pleased that's over. It's really hard being put on the hot seat, and obviously we've not scripted these answers, we've just sort of gone for it, because I think it's much better if it's natural. But if you have any questions for me, just pop them in the comments and I'm happy to answer them, and I look forward to crafting with you all soon. And thanks again to Lydia for interviewing me today.